I've been so busy thinking about the new GPUs coming from NVIDIA, I almost forgot there's a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 open beta happening, and remember the system requirements do list the GTX 1060 as the recommended, not the minimum being down to GTX 960 or Radeon RX 470. And I do have a GTX 1060. I have the 6GB version, not the 3GB version, so mine is a bit more powerful than that, has the extra VRAM, all of that. And so in this video, I'm gonna be firing this up. Now do keep in mind that my CPU is very high-end, so it's well above this CPU, and the idea there is that we are going to be testing out the GPU without it being CPU limited. I have 32GB of 3600 CL16 RAM and an R9 5950X processor. Let's hop into a game. I'm not a Call of Duty expert, but we'll go ahead and see how this thing performs. All right, let's go ahead and hop on into a game of Invasion. And currently, the graphics settings are on, well, let me just show you. So there's a variety of presets. By the way, when you first go to this, I couldn't find it. I was like, oh, you have to click on the quality tab in the top. Anyway, go to here, we've got some presets. We'll try them all out, but for now we'll go to recommended, and it will automatically adjust things, and you can choose whether you want to go for performance or visual quality. Let's start out with performance. That's the settings I'm on here. And notice this does turn on NVIDIA image scaling, which is a spatial upscaler very similar to FSR, which the game also features and you could use. And it's on the quality preset, not the ultra quality, the quality preset. So definitely something to keep in mind is that this is not actually rendering at the native resolution when I choose the recommended performance settings. And again, it also turns down a variety of the other settings in the game as well. But like I said, we will try out some other settings as we go. And let's hop in and keep an eye on that performance tab. FPS so far looks quite good, although I can definitely tell we're not quite at the native resolution. And well, I walked out and got myself killed. So let's go ahead and try this out a little bit longer on these settings before we switch it up. And oh wow, apparently I'm getting shot, but where from? Did I mention I'm not really a Call of Duty player? I have, in my youth, played my share of competitive shooters. You're definitely getting shot from up on that building. That's where it's happening. Okay, got an assist, so I think that guy's taken care of. We're testing graphics settings, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try to play the game. Can't let down the team, you know. Got him. Got him. Okay, that says hostile killed, so that is not a real enemy. This mode with the 20 versus 20, I believe it is, player count, also has some bots. I've played a few rounds of this, just kind of making sure it was running properly and all of that. And actually, I thought I recorded this video already, and turns out my mic wasn't set correctly. So, how embarrassing. Anyway, the point is, I noticed that there are some bots in here, but it just says hostile killed and you get 1 point versus 5 points for a real player. So you can at least tell the difference. Like that was a real player. Real player. Overall, I've got to say, I think the performance on this just default setting feels good. So, I mean, like I said, I can tell it's not the native resolution, but I think that's fine. This is a, I'm out of ammo, aren't I? Oh, I have a shotgun backup, apparently. Anyway, in a competitive shooter type game, I don't personally mind turning down the graphics settings quite a bit to achieve high frame rates, which it seems like we are absolutely doing here. All right, let's switch things up though. So let's try out the recommended. And we will go to the visual quality recommended. And let's take a look at that. So that has us now at the ultra quality on the NVIDIA image scaling. So closer to the native resolution. And you can see that I think some of these other settings are also maybe turned up a little bit, but I think the main difference is less aggressive on the image upscaling, so things should all look just a bit sharper and closer to the native 1080p. Performance so far still seems pretty good. Oof. Let's test this out just a little bit longer than that. If we have time, I need to make sure the game's long enough to test out all the settings. An enemy? That's a brick. Maybe if it was higher resolution, I could have told the difference between an enemy and a rock. I won't blame the graphic settings for my poor play, I suppose. Or will I? Got him. That's a hostile though, so that's not a real enemy player. That's a real enemy player. Is that an enemy? No, blue dot. Must be a good guy. Got some ammo. That's good, I guess. All right, well, it looks like performance at both of the recommended settings seems fine. So if I can find either die or find a safe place. Wow, that guy really didn't get that kill. Anyway, let's go ahead and try out the ultra setting. And we'll turn off the image scaling so that we can see the native resolution performance. So this is ultra at native 1080p. You can see the graphic settings are now higher. And my frame rate is now lower. Whoa, wait a second. Something feels wrong here. Something doesn't look right. Let me double check these settings. Ultra, apply. Okay. Yeah, something didn't seem right at first. I'm trying to check. Okay, image scaling's off. All right. Okay, let's see. Guess that's it. All right, yeah, now we are below 60 FPS for sure. But also go above it at times. I think we got an enemy running through here. Look at him jumping and all that. That's cheating. Well, I mean, ultra settings, I do dip into the 40s at times. Spend a lot of times in the 50s and 60s though. It's not awful. But it's also not the settings I would choose for a competitive shooter. On this graphics card, anyway. Because I would certainly target well above 60 FPS as my preference. Okay. Any enemies around here? But yeah, overall, I mean, the performance in this game seems pretty okay on this GPU, to be honest. Once we get a death, which could be any second here, wow, did I not get that kill? We'll go ahead and try to turn the graphics settings down a little bit. So let's go down to balanced, apply. Image scaling is off. All right, looks like we are around 60 FPS. I got flashed. Let me flash him back. Do I have a flash? I don't even know if that's a flash. Oof. All right, well, performance at the balance setting seems fine. Although, whoa, okay, we're down into the 40s during that little, like, respawn segment. What is happening here? I swear I could not move my mouse left. It's like, maybe my mouse died. I'll blame my mouse. It's definitely not lack of skill, guys. That couldn't possibly be it. Ridiculous to even consider it. I think that was an enemy. Alright. Got one. Oh, that's a teammate of mine. Is that a enemy tank or something? What is happening? Did somebody use like an ability on me or something? That was weird. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and switch the graphic settings again. Let's go down to basic. And we will apply. Looks good. So that is what the basic settings look like. If you're interested. Right. Performance seems a little higher overall, although I'm still seeing some dips below 60 FPS with that smoke and effects and things on screen. All right, and let's go ahead, and I think this game's about to end, so we better get in the lowest of low settings super fast before it ends. Let's go to minimum settings, which notice it changed the render resolution to 50%. Ah, we ended. Anyway, minimum settings look pretty bad. Your frame rate goes up, but we'll just go ahead and end it there because I don't want to load up another game just to test out the minimum settings. I hope this was useful for you guys, and I may or may not have time to test out some other GPUs. Hey, I managed to finish in the middle of the pack. Look at me go. I hope all of you have an excellent day.